welcome back to another season of the Good Enough Gaming Podcast. Our very first episode back in 2024. Holy shit, we've been doing this for 4 years, guys.
Fucking nuts. Yeah.
Crazy. Wow.
We the best.
We the persistent.
We're okay.
We the okayest.
Yay.
So this episode, we had to spend some time prepping for over our break because we needed the time. Our first episode of the season is entitled "Forgive Me, Father, for I Have Hal-sinned." This first episode of Season 6 is sure to warm your Shadowhearts as we take a look at the game that took the world by storm in late 2023 and well into 2024 for many of us, including our Good Enough Game of the Year. If you Karlach the knowledge or available friends to play D&D, but have always had the will to try new things, then we can't wait to talk to you about Baldur's Gate 3. No, that is not where half of the podcast goes to get their hair cut.
Well played, Daryl.
Nice. Nice.
Hopefully you could wrap your Elderbrain around the things that we'll be discussing as we regale you with our experiences so far. It's guaranteed to be an absolute blast. Well played. Well played.
Well done, buddy. Well
I
done.
tip my hat to you, sir.
Yeah.
My goofy ass helmet hat. I tip to you.
So obviously we're talking about Baldur's Gate 3. We got some time to play it. We got some time to all play it together. And if you're
chaos.
What a miracle.
Just a shit show.
Oh, fuck. It is the best dumpster fire you could ever ask for.
We tend to align as chaotic stupid. And
That is on brand.
As someone who is like a forever DM in actual like D&D, it was great to just fuck around a bit and give oh shit, what I cast it every time with my priest. Guidance.
Guidance.
Okay.
And give guidance to literally everyone for literally every role, including
You give guidance. You give guidance. Everybody gets guidance.
I think us playing Baldur's Gate 3 is like a kid's soccer game, and Kyle is the soccer ball. Like, we're just following Kyle. It's just a little swarm of kids just following Kyle. That's not a bad joke.
I don't know. I find I'm following you guys around a lot more because you guys played a bunch more, and I'm like, I don't know where the fuck I'm going. I'm just
No, but we want you to make all the decisions. That's the best part. So we're like pushing you along.
Yeah.
Like
we're just trying to cater the experience.
Yeah.
Come do this really dumb thing. Come do this stupid shit.
Yeah.
Come watch me punt this squirrel.
Easily one of the best early clips.
Oh, fuck. That was so good.
Like, I know if you had hit it, you would have punted it regardless, but the fact that you rolled like a nat 20 on it,
it was
just so
It's the best. Yeah.
By the way, you can watch that clip because we posted it on our Instagram, and it is just as stupid. Like that's our legit reactions to everything, and it is. I don't think I've laughed more in like recent times playing games than like Baldur's Gate 3.
It was that moment that made me fall in love with the game. It was that exact moment that I was just like, okay, this is a game. Like, this is great.
Like wheezing laugh. Laughing so hard.
Absolutely.
The full wheeze. Yeah.
I was crying. I was from laughter. I was.
Yeah. I enjoy it. I don't think I'm the same level as you guys.
Wow.
It's just
No, I can guarantee you're not.
No.
It's more of a time thing for me than anything else.
Yeah.
But so far, like I've really enjoyed. Shit, what have I enjoyed?
I hope the game, but I've
I've really liked just playing with you guys and getting to do like some of those rolls and attacks and trying to strategize. That big ass robot.
The thing in the forge. Yeah, that was sweet.
Yeah, that was cool.
Fun little tidbits of like.
Yeah, I enjoyed that fight.
Just the problem, the problem solving in that game is insane. Like, it was so funny because early on, I know there's a lot of people who are like, "Oh my god, people are save scumming. They're like replaying all these saves." But the game is written so well that you're like, "Well, I just want to save and see what happens if I choose all these different decisions." Just in any conversation, right? You're like, "What happens if I'm an asshole?" Or what happens if I like ask for more money?
Yeah.
And like that's like huge to Larian. Like I cannot believe how much context and like little text things of like interactions or just whatever it is if you do things in different orders or like choose a different path to somebody else. Like we've played together. My wife and I did a full playthrough and we're on our second playthrough and we're still encountering stuff that like none of us have encountered yet.
Well, that's in the
same boat.
Yeah.
That's the amazing thing. Like I was talking to Daryl about this the other day. I'm 64 hours into this game across 3 playthroughs. I've got our group playthrough. I've got a playthrough with Kenton, and then I've just got a solo playthrough. And like I was saying to Daryl, you know, I think I'm about 33 hours in on my solo playthrough. I just hit Act 2.
Yeah, so you're like a quarter of a way through the game.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah.
And the thing that blows my mind is across those 3 playthroughs on my solo druid one, there's still stuff that I had never come across. Like I was still asking you guys questions of like, well, have you done this? Did you talk to this person? It's like, you know, in our other playthroughs, I didn't even know that person existed. You know, like I didn't even know that person was there, but it added another like 2.5 hours worth of content. That's just optional. Like it's, you could totally miss that. And like, you know, for good and for bad, I'm, you know, the completionist in me is like, fuck, I don't want to go into Act 2 if I've missed something. Like I'm not going to be able to go back. You know, but it just gives you an excuse to play it again. You know, try a new character, try a different class. You know, there's different dialogue for, you know, for the classes that you pick. Like, it's pretty remarkable, everything they've stuffed into it.
And I do have to say, the amounts of updates and changes that Larian has made
really well done.
I think they've made more major patches than like the entire lifetime of Warzone. Like, and they're all good. Like every time you're like, oh, this little thing's broken. This is like, this is a bit like when I first started playing like local split screen co-op with my wife, it was like, ooh, there's some bugs here. But then like, you know, 2 weeks later, like, oh yeah, it's fixed. It's fine. It's like, how
they also updated some really like specific things like character kissing and relationships. It's like, okay, guys, I guess so. We're
giving the people what they want.
Somebody's complaining out there about the kissing.
It was too similar every time. Like, but now there's different kissing.
We need different kissing.
That's the thing. Like, I played my first playthrough that I did on my solo character because I quickly passed our group playthrough. Like I have over 100 hours on my first solo playthrough, and we were doing stuff in our group playthrough that like I hadn't hit, or like areas that I never saw the harpies over by the druid circle, because there was just parts where I was like, oh, I can't go there, when really I was just had to be a little shiftier and figure out ways to get to those spots instead of being noticed, and I was like, oh man, like I missed a whole bunch of stuff. And I played for over 100 hours. Like this, like, what?
Even just what you can access with like that stupid junk feature.
Yeah.
Just there's other stuff that's only available with fly. Like once you can fly,
Misty Step. Like there's parts where like I was like, I can't get out of this cave unless I can teleport people over here.
Yeah.
And that's
it's crazy.
I think it's a testament to like they actually like love games, and they were in this to make an amazing game. This was not like game by committee corporate bullshit. This was people who love video games and love Baldur's Gate and love D&D, and they wanted to make it something that they could be proud of for D&D players to play.
They understood the assignment, like
Yes.
because and like you guys can speak to this better than anybody, but like the reason why people love D&D so much is because it's endless possibilities and endless randomness. It's different based on the people that are involved. It's different based on the DM that's taken charge. Like, and to put that in video game form, I can't even imagine the complexity of just like, what are the early meetings of, Larian sitting down in the conference room and being like, fuck, how do we program?
All right, everybody read these choose your own adventure books and let's figure out how we can code this into a game.
Like, it's crazy.
Just nuts.
And the cool thing, like, to get super nerdy about it is like, this studio wanted to do a D&D game years ago, and they were told no. They were denied that opportunity. So they said, fuck it, we're going to make our own.
Divinity.
And so they made Divinity Original Sin 2, which like Trevor's played. And like that game is amazing. And
highly touted.
It did so well that the Dungeons and Dragons company, they came to the studio and said, so we saw what you did with that. We want you to do that, but with our stuff, because it was that good.
But the thing that's crazy, because I know, Jordan, you started playing Divinity as well, and it is like a different system, and it is like that game's like 8 to 10 years old now. Like it's been a while.
Yep.
I don't know if I can go back now. Like that game was so good when I played it. Like my wife and I completed that game in prep for Baldur's Gate because I was like, well, let's play a turn-based game. Let's see how we like it. They literally took any complaint I had about Divinity, about the pacing and like some of the story bits and like some of the annoying ways you have to do the quests in like little tiny pieces.
Yeah.
And they just like scrapped it and they like made all of that infinitely better. And it was like, booting up Baldur's Gate for the first time was like, this is so fucking good.
Okay, so if you had to guess, because I did some little side Googling. If you had to guess, how many hours of cinematics would you say?
Ooh.
Oh no.
Would you guess is in Baldur's Gate 3?
In total, like if you got all of them?
Put it all together, how
like
long
all
would
the
it be?
different possibilities. I'm gonna guess like 1,000 hours.
I'm gonna say it's probably 80 hours.
I was gonna say like 85.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going all over the place here. So before I tell you the actual, I'll give you a couple frames of reference. So Baldur's Gate 3 has more cinematic dialogue than 3 times all of the Lord of the Rings novels combined.
Oh my lord!
What?
It has more than twice the length of every season of Game of Thrones combined.
I believe that.
174 hours of cinematics.
Fuck.
Twice as what I thought. Holy man.
Yeah, so 174 hours of just cinematics. Could you imagine being those voice actors and being like, well, I signed up for this like Baldur's Gate game. Getting like this script that's like all these things you got to record.
Fucking tomes.
There were so many different characters in the there's so many I'm sure lots of the developers got to even be voice actors or something. Like it was a lot of fun. Like
I'm pretty sure because I think they did this in Divinity as well. When you go to like the city and you can see portraits of people that they're like little items you can pick up. I'm pretty sure those are devs. Where they've like taken photos of someone in some sort of like regal pose. I'm pretty sure those are photos of the devs.
I love when games do that stuff.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
Always funny.
Like they're proud of their work and they're proud to have been part of it.
Yeah.
Oh, they should be proud of this.
Rightfully so.
This is like a masterpiece game. I did not expect to like this much. This is like one of those games I'm almost done my second playthrough.
This is a guy where Mortal Kombat came out.
Yeah. Like I'm 74 hours into my second playthrough.
Holy shit.
And like, I love this. I will play this game again because for all the reasons we were just talking about, like running into things you haven't seen and different dialogue. Every time you're a different class,
Changes.
you have different possible interactions for that as well. And like when your character is the lead, your created character, if you do choose to make a created character and not play one of the pre-rolls, yeah, like you get this choice, like based off of whatever class you are and like whatever affinity that normally means, and it deals with your race and your class. So it's like the options of just normal conversation with some of the other things is crazy to me. When I was a Dragonborn Paladin, my interactions with the bounty hunter in like Shadowhearts, like in what are they called?
The Cellunites?
In the Shar Temple.
The Sharts.
Yeah. When they're in there, my interaction with him was completely different. I didn't have the same options when I came back and I was a ranger. Like it was completely, and I was like, holy shit! Like that gave me a whole lot of option that made this whole thing way easier.
Yeah,
but
even like being like my cleric, you know, getting like specific options that are either cleric based or even my like which temple I belong to had specific options with people too.
Yeah.
Which is just it's so cool and so well thought out that they put that much effort into it. And they're not a big studio by any means.
They're decently big, but they're
they're not on like the Activision levels of big.
No.
It's not that.
But all those big AAA companies, take notes, man, because like we don't like. You know what else makes this game great? No fucking microtransactions. It was a complete game when it came out.
Complete from the start.
It has a fleshed out story with possible more stuff coming. Like if they wanted to add DLC, I've heard maybe there's some stuff where like you go to Avernus, like
that'd be cool.
Yeah.
And things like that. So like there's opportunities for them to grow and add a couple more chapters or whatever. But it's like this was a complete game. It got serviced with patchwork and like take notes, man. Like this was a game.
This is what a quadruple A game is.
Take notes, fucking Ubisoft. Yeah. Well, I think this is going to be, spoilers for future episodes this season. But to be honest, like to Daryl's point, I think this is going to probably be an entire episode for us later on. It's just the rise of like that AA studio that's making AAA games, because last year was kind of the fucking explosion of all of these developers that a lot of gamers have never heard about. But they released a game that was complete at launch, played incredibly well, was supported by the developers really well, and didn't have any microtransactions or any bullshit, storefronts.
Yeah.
And it's like, to be honest, what the hell are AAA studios doing right now?
Yeah. This is like the perfect storm game, right? Like Divinity was still pretty niche, had its moments, like it's great game, but like it could be tough to play. I think this, like, you get the rise of things like Critical Role. You have tons of like online role play stuff, like D&D's having another fucking moment. Stranger Things,
Renaissance,
it's having this whole like comeback. And then you come up with this, and not only is it just like, hey, it's D&D. It's like, this is fucking awesome, right? Like, it's not just like, you're just kind of moving some pieces on the board. You're like, this game is fucking amazing.
So I will admit flat out, the idea of playing D&D in somebody's house is intimidating as fuck for me, because there's a lot about it that I just do not understand. And like,
fake it till you make it, buddy. That's how I do it.
Yeah,
that's honestly how we started.
Just fireball until everyone's dead, and then you can go home.
Kill them all.
Yeah.
What do you mean this is an enclosed space?
Yeah, that doesn't matter, does it?
I didn't ask how big the room was.
I said fireball.
Did I stutter?
Yeah.
Fireball. But like, that's what I love about this game is for somebody like me, this is the perfect entry point to not only learn more about the rules of D&D, but to see it actually play out in virtual form on a screen. I can see what the roles are doing. I can see how those impact my party and impact the environment around me. And like it, to me, it's the perfect way to learn about this stuff. And like, you know, if you never have an interest in playing, you know, in a house on a table with, you know, paper and pen and all that stuff, that's okay. Thankfully, technology is where it's at, where, you know, where we can get stuff like this now. It's the perfect representation for somebody like me that's, you know, like, yeah.
I really want to know how many people were inspired to like actually try D&D and get a group together, because like really all it takes is like one person to go, hey, maybe we should see if we can find the books. Let's get together. Let's get some dice. I ordered like cheap, shitty dice from Amazon and got everyone together. It was like, we're doing this.
Yeah.
I mean, Daryl was so hard to convince to play, but
yeah.
Twist his rubber arm. Yeah.
That's a big thing too. Like, obviously, I know with like Divinity, obviously they couldn't do as much like strict D&D stuff. So a lot of the skill checks in Divinity, you have to have like whatever it is, like strength or charisma of 8 or whatever it is, knowledge of whatever the stat is. If you don't meet the stat and you don't know what the check is until you click it, if you don't meet the stat, you just don't beat it. Right? So if you don't use, so you have to like strategize each of your characters to be like, this guy's the smart guy, this guy's the intimidation guy, and if I want to intimidate someone, I have to use him. And if it's not high enough, then you just like fail the roll. I love this because this is pure D&D, where it's like even the person with like the fucking worst stats in the world can still roll a 20, and you can explode a squirrel against a tree. Or like same thing, I think Jordan or someone on our team was, because we have dwarves, you know, there's the scene where there's the fire and you have to break down the door and you just fucking boot the door down, right? And it's just with a crit 20, you're like, this is so cool.
It's the best. Yeah, it's the best.
And it just shows like how much care and thought they put into the game as a whole, right? Because like they're accounting for literally every single possibility, which is so hard to do in a D&D setting. Like when we play, every time I am surprised by some of the shit you guys pull and how I have to adapt to. Daryl.
And now I get to do it in a game all the time. I'm like,
now you get to do it with
around this.
Now you get more ridiculous ideas, and I have to fucking deal with it.
Now I've learned too much through this game.
He knows too much.
Yeah. But I mean, but now like being a part of it on the other side is really fun too, because you can.
Yeah, you got to be the player, not the
agent
DM.
of chaos. Like, I wonder what this does, and like thunder waving guys off of like
your own teammates.
I don't recall.
Friendly fire.
Friendly fire.
I do have to say the friendly fire in this game.
Thank you.
The friendly fire in this game is way better than Divinity, because everything in Divinity fucking explodes.
Everything,
like a puddle of water explodes. Like
they enlisted,
you're electrocuted. Like
they enlisted Torque to build the levels in Divinity.
Explosions.
Every barrel and every object explodes in Divinity.
Michael Bay is in the comments section.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm excited.
How excited?
Are we taking a break?
Oh,
we are. We're gonna take a little break, but we got something new this season. Something that's been on my mind, because I know how much bullshit we like to talk. And I let our like creative juices flowing. As much as I like love hearing my own voice during dad reviews, I also love getting told the worst possible option for things.
Don't you already get that at work?
I do, actually. But this is a lot more funnier. So I'd like to introduce my new segment called Wrong Answers Only.
Wrong Answers Only.
All right, so the way this works, the premise is super easy. The title says it all. I'm going to give you a situation, maybe a little prompt, and you're going to give me wrong answers. All right, so for instance, the very first one I'd like to talk about this season. This is very near and dear to Daryl, so I'm curious to see how this is going to go.
Oh, God.
New DLC fighters for Mortal Kombat have just been announced. Some of the fighters include...
Oh, I have so many good ones for this.
Hit me, Trevor. What do you
Fire 'em
got?
off.
We'll go around the horn a bit here.
The cheapest of all the Mortal Kombat fighters. Odd Job.
Jordan.
I joked earlier, but I do like my answer. The champion of foam stars, the latest Square Enix Splatoon game.
Oh, God.
Oh, awful. As long as it comes with the music.
Yes.
Twisted Metal, but not the clown, the car.
All right.
I like that.
Making a surprise cameo, Ryu.
Oh,
Hey, excellent.
I do have.
that
I
would
think
be epic. I won't lie. That would be epic. I would be okay with that.
I do have one that I think fits the theme of what they've done with some other ones. So he's kind of a mix of the classic film star, but also like the alter ego to Homelander that's up in there. We're going with Steven Seagal, but not like not from the 80s. I'm talking like current age, bloated,
Steven
like
Seagal?
pro Russian Steven Seagal.
Yeah.
Like just
That's the perfect answer. That's
Wearing
the perfect answer.
Wearing a quadruple XL kimono, like just
Oh
most
my
out
God.
of shape, dude.
he just takes you down with like a finger to the neck. He's like, ugh.
Oh, the only thing that's like close to that is like that dude on Instagram that like
fuck.
water like karate chops water bottles and just like he's like crouched down. I don't know if anyone's ever seen that.
Oh, my.
I'm pretty sure he's on crack.
What about that? Personal defense coach out of Detroit.
It's like ball punches?
Out of Detroit. I could disarm anybody without any weapon.
Okay, so I think...
What's the trainer from Napoleon Dynamite? That guy with the America hammer pants.
Oh,
Oh,
yes. I'm pretty sure he is supposed to be making fun of Steven Seagal.
That guy.
I totally forgot about him.
Come at me. Come at me.
I dare you. I dare you. Come after me.
Sweep the leg.
Sweep the
Oh,
leg.
sweep the leg.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
Okay,
him,
so...
him and Seagal. Him and
All
Seagal.
Oh my
That's a combo
God.
pack. You get
Yeah.
two.
Yeah,
You
we're
get two.
both. Yeah.
All right, I think
It's
Trevor wins that one.
That's a Cold War pack. It's him and the America pants and Steven Seagal, like pro Russia.
Yeah.
Ronald Reagan.
Call it the Reaganator pack. Okay, I got one more for you, and then we're gonna move on.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
Dune 2 recently came to theaters, along with a pretty gross popcorn bucket collectible.
Yeah.
Guys, can you give me some less than appropriate movie collectible tie-in products?
I got some great ones again for this one. On theme of the last one, the sequel of Mortal Kombat 2, we're gonna get the spine straw.
Nice.
Nice. I actually wouldn't mind that.
That's my
dope.
acceptable
That
one.
would be pretty cool. Yeah.
That is my acceptable one. Yeah.
Jordan?
And I don't, I don't even know.
The Rick and Morty pickle protector.
It's
Sorry.
like one of those like banana
the banana
protectors.
cases.
It's just Pickle Rick. That's like the banana protector.
So many dicks
But
are
it's
going
for
in those.
but it's for pickles.
So many dicks.
Can there please be an audio track in there too? You can press a button.
I'm a
Just get-
pickle.
Just get
Oh my
fucking
God.
Pickle
Step
Rick in there.
one, cut a hole in the box. All right. My other extremely inappropriate one. Due to the writer's strike, they're re-releasing some movies in theaters, as we know, just to try and get some money to come in. So we're going to go see the re-release of Tropic Thunder, and everyone's going to get a jar of blackface paint.
And a can of ball sweat.
Is it booty sweat?
Booty sweat.
Booty sweat.
Booty sweat.
Booty sweat and a little tin of
Booty
black.
sweat and blackface.
Booty sweat and a thing of charcoal.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh, Jesus.
That's the wrongest answer.
That's the
Wait.
wrongest answer. Okay, now that we've thoroughly scarred everyone, or I don't know, offended.
I don't know. I just looked at that thing and I
fine.
thought, man, the only thing getting buttered better be popcorn in that bowl. That's like that is like. I was
But
like,
did you see?
that is highly suggestive. That thing was
People,
like,
people came to movies. They had shirts made that just said, "I'm just here to fuck the popcorn bucket."
Which is hilarious.
oh my god,
That's awesome.
Who made that and was like, "This
Who
is the
thought-
best thing
This is it.
ever"?
Yeah,
Yeah,
who
this is
signed
so
off on
good.
that, right? Yeah.
You know what's really gross about it too
Who
is
knew the
what-
movie theater was selling pocket pussies? Like what the
it's
fuck?
the only thing that makes it worse.
It's a Thad Castle endorsed
Oh,
product,
gross.
Daryl.
Yeah.
The only thing that makes it worse is if you actually put butter on it and you're actually eating the popcorn. Is by the time you get to the bottom, if you have sleeves, your sleeves will get covered in
Oh
butter
yeah,
Yeah.
because you're just creating. Yeah, you're just.
just creating a butter slide.
Gross. Why did I bring this up? Why?
I don't know
Uh,
why, but the term butter slide is far grosser than it has any right to be.
It just,
Nothing
I
like
just that.
nothing like fisting your popcorn bucket for 2 hours while you're going to the movie theater.
Oh my
Hey,
god!
not everybody's going to get lucky in the movie theater. This is the next best
No.
thing for those.
Most of the
Hey,
people,
they got cameras in there now, man.
most of the people are taking the bucket and going to see Madam Web with Sydney Sweeney. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's actually a story of a dude that got kicked out of that movie.
Okay, but actually, nobody's going to see Madam Web.
No,
For science, I might.
I'm
not paying money for
You
that.
would pay money for
I'm
that.
not
You would pay
spending
money,
money
for
on
that.
for
it.
science, I will see it. I will not pay money for it.
No. My favorite part was when they said it's Morbin time. Okay, we gotta get back on track here because I mean, successful first segment.
I
Yes.
would say so.
Yes.
Thoroughly disgusted.
Yeah, you're
It's
welcome.
fine.
That's probably the well. While we're on topic of raunchy and we're getting back into the thick of this game, while we're like,
Everybody, make sure Daryl
Spoilers.
you check out Daryl's name for this podcast because he wants him a muscle mommy.
man,
If there's
Karlach.
any like
Yeah.
6'4" built women that just want to sweep him off his feet, he's more than available.
And if you're into volleyball, even better.
yeah, right. Break me off a piece of that Karlach. Let's go.
So, going back to Baldur's Gate and not Daryl just like drooling over his
fictitious
demon muscle
character.
mommy there.
Yeah.
Trevor's gonna put a link on the screen to Daryl's OnlyFans, so just be prepared for that link.
Oh,
No, no. You can find him in the pool though on Twitch.
No, you cannot.
Ooh.
All right, but back to Baldur's Gate again. I want to look like this game has some serious longevity, and we've talked about it. What would you like to see added to the game to give it more, like to make it further? Like, what would you pay for in a DLC? Like, I know my answer, but I'm curious to know what you guys would say as far as what would you add to the game that would make it worthwhile to players that you would pay for.
Now,
More
Evan-
sex scenes.
it just turns into a waifu simulator with Karlach
no.
only.
no.
Just Karlach, that's all. Yeah.
Oh, it is hilarious.
I haven't beat the game, but mounts and like mounts that could somehow be kind of brought into combat. I don't know how that would work.
Okay.
But like, I'm just thinking dragons. I know
No, I
there's
was kidding.
dragons.
wanna
I'm, just,
fight
I'm gonna
dragons.
build. I'm gonna build off of that.
Okay.
I am gonna
Go.
build off of that because at the very beginning of the game, you see the Githyanki people riding the dragons, fighting the the ships and like the mind flayer ships, and then
Nautiloid.
yes,
Nautiloid.
and you kind of get near the end, and you like spoiler alert, you will see some dragons. But it's like I'm with Jordan. I would love to be like going after. I'd love to finish the final battle in the game, which I don't want to ruin for Kyle here. But like leaving and going after the other Nautiloid ships and like riding dragons and then like fighting in the sky. Like I think that would have been like the best ending. Was like now
running across wings and shit.
Yeah, like that'd been sick. Like just flying up close to it, jumping off onto the ship, fighting some fuckers, blowing that sucker up, jumping back on the dragon. Like just, I think that would have been epic. I don't know how that would have worked.
Yeah,
like from a logistical standpoint.
Yeah.
But like, I do think that would have been. I would love to see that part.
Yeah,
just like battles on that as a particular mount. I don't think mounts fit this game.
No. Not with the style, because they've compacted so much story into such a small space. Like I know in regular D&D, like a mount is meant to just get across like, hey, we're going from this town to this town and it's a million miles away, right? Yeah. And it's just kind of a means to an end to like speed shit up.
Yeah,
like Larian's put so much stuff, right? Every corner there's a fucking check of some kind.
Yeah.
Like there's something buried here. There's someone trying to kill me.
Check.
Yeah. It's like, huh?
Yeah.
Am I in danger? No, I agree. I did like some of the stuff with like if we did more like astral plane stuff, because I think that could be interesting with if they kind of fix some of the cameras with the verticality of some of the stuff. That's like still the only ongoing issue that I have is when you're like a level below something and you're trying to like adjust freaking camera.
That a bit wonky. Yeah.
I think it would be cool with some of the puzzles if you did stuff, because in the astral plane you can like jump really far and some of that stuff. And I think by doing that, or nixing certain spells because they don't work here, or, certain attacks work better or worse in certain places like that, I think that would be really neat.
Yeah.
I personally would love to see like an expanded like class and subclass list. I'd love to see, like the inclusion of like, and the funny thing is that
that'd be cool.
Yeah,
but like seeing
that would be dope.
Like, I mean, we all played on PS5, so the limitations there versus playing on PC are definitely different. Like, I've already seen a lot of like PC mods with expanded subclasses and additions of stuff like that. It would be great to see like an official expansion, kind of like buying one of those. I got
like a D&D book. Yeah.
An extra book that gives you subclasses and like maybe a new area or
new race,
something like that would be very, very interesting. I mean, there's like the Dark Urge, option. It would be interesting to see if they could expand on that, give something else. It's like you're here to like fuck everything up. You're trying to throw a wrench in everything and make the worst possible world.
Yes.
The super evil run.
Burn it down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to burn this mother down.
Yeah. I feel like something like that would be very, very interesting, and definitely given the care and thought that they put into the main game, if they did DLC that way, I feel it would be very well received.
You kidnapped the wrong person. I'm a man of many skills.
I just hope that this isn't a one-off, and like I think the game has been too successful to ignore not have a sequel. But yeah, I just hope that these guys decide to like, whether it's a Baldur's Gate 4 or I don't know, maybe they try and like somehow merge Divinity and D&D into like one thing. Like I don't know. This game is too good for there not to
Divinity Gate.
Something else.
Gate of Divinity.
Yeah.
Just fighting angels.
Yeah. Never know.
It's possible.
It worked in Diablo.
I do have a question for everybody though, because I know we've had a lot of conversations back and forth about this. Favorite companions, favorite characters in the game. Do you guys have like one or two that stand out for you?
Daryl, do you want to?
Well, okay, because mine's the most obvious. I love Karlach is awesome.
She's pretty funny.
She's like so in our long-standing D&D campaign that Trevor and Kyle and I are a part of, thanks to Kyle. Like, I'm a barbarian, so as soon as Karlach was introduced, I was already like, oh, okay, she's wicked, because like I love the barbarian class for my own personal experience. So I got really excited that like she was cool. She's a tiefling. She's huge. She's got like this big axe, and she's like she's wicked. She's bad. She swears like a
axe or ass.
Both. She like swears like a trucker. Like she's so funny and whatever. And I was like, oh man, this is a wicked character. I totally sided with this. This is what my regular D&D character aspires to be. Like this is perfect. So I love her. And I really liked Shadowhearts class. Like Kyle is a cleric. Shadowheart became so useful. Like in about the middle to late stages of the game, her character class was like, it's a staple. Like it was a no-brainer to have her in the party. She does everything that you could like possibly think of, depending on like what route and what kind of moves you do. Can buff your group, can heal your group, can raise the dead, can cast crazy powerful spells. Like what a machine. And can take damage. Like wild class. So those two were really my favorite. And then I'm learning this in my second playthrough, because my first playthrough, Wyll got bugged for me. And I told the group this, that he died at the gate of the Emerald Grove. And then I used a Revivify scroll on him. But then I hit a certain point in the game and he had just glitched out and he was gone. And then his tent was still there, but no Wyll. And like he wasn't anywhere else hiding in the camp. Like he would show up for random like movie parts when Mizora would come visit. And I was like, okay, he's still alive, but he ain't camping here anymore. I don't know where he is.
So you're saying that there's no way, because where there's a Wyll, there's a way.
There's a way.
There's no Wyll, there's no way.
But in my second playthrough, I do really I like Will's story. I like his kind of dilemma and sort of the predicament that he's in overall. I think he has a very interesting kind of story base. So,
but if I had him,
I would have had him in my party over Asterion the first time, but he wasn't there. So
this is my ongoing question to Daryl, because he's the only one far enough in the game. Have you done the worm?
I'm there. I'm doing. I'm in the midst of. Yes.
I don't want to spoil it. It's such a big part of the game, and I don't want to spoil it for them or anybody.
Dad, so
it's crazy, because like you played the game and you were mind blown. Game's still great.
Yep.
When you get to that, I am waiting for you to text me with just like the most, just like there's like hints and there's different things, and then when they explain it to you, you're like, what the fuck is going on? Like it is crazy. And that's what I mean. Like this game's so interesting that like you can play through, and this is kind of like a semi-hidden, hard to get to side quest.
Yeah.
But when you do it, one, the final battle of it's awesome. The gear's awesome, but like the story moment of it is unreal.
Can't wait.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Love that.
I just don't want to spoil
my weekend.
because
That's fair.
So, also, why was Hal-sinned your favorite? our favorite horny druid.
Just
I swear to God, he's just like this like horny cult leader.
Wants to fuck everything.
Wants to fuck.
Yeah.
Hey man.
Hey.
Like,
when you've been out in the woods that long, sometimes you just
those hippies,
Yeah.
I don't know how to say this, bro. I was like, man, like, why is it that I feel like Hal-sinned lives on the Okanagan in B?
Hey man,
What's going on, man?
ass, gas, or grass? No one rides for free. In my playthrough, though,
hit this bong, man.
Yeah, in my playthrough, we were really big on Lizelle. Her like she's
very
not
snappy.
She is, and it's not meant to be like she's meant to be serious, but it comes off as so funny. And especially when you get like when you're playing by yourself and you've got like your all of the companions and they're interacting with each other and they just like make fun of Lizelle to just like chill out.
Yeah.
It's like she's just like so stuck up. But like same with Daryl, like similar to Shadowheart. Later in the game, right? She gets like bonus attacks and extra bonus attacks, and she's good with every weapon.
Fighter life.
Oh yeah, she gets like 6 attacks by the end of the game. You're like, this is great.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she can attack so many times with like action surge and stuff. I was like, oh my god, like wild,
very useful.
Speaking of like extra attacks, have you seen? I feel like I sent this to you guys, but you know, like how the internet has this like obsession with like optimization and doing the most ridiculous shit possible. Have you seen the Eldritch Blast Gatling gun build?
Yeah, you can do it with Wyll if you want.
Oh my god. It's like I can't even remember how many Eldritch Blasts you get in one turn.
Like 6 or 8 or something.
Oh, no, it's way more than that. It's like stupid.
That's insane.
But I feel like we gotta post it on the pod account just to be like, so this is excessive.
But nothing quite beats the early game of Owlbear from the top rope.
Yeah.
So good. So good. I got my Druid solo playthrough right now, and I texted Daryl the other day because I just hit level 6, so I can now turn into an owlbear. I was
God!
Fuck yeah, let's go! I'm gonna be jumping off the top ropes on fucking everything now.
Well,
So
I should
good.
say my other favorite companion that you can't play as and battle as, but like is just the goodest of goodest boys is Sparky. Like if you
The
have
dog.
animal speak on, I don't thought like if you have a
awesome.
druid or whatever, it's like the funniest interaction sometimes. Like he's just like this little goofball dog that you pick up, and if you have the dog and the owlbear cub, you're in for some also hilarious
Except
and
the time when
heartwarming.
Except for the time when I accidentally threw the ball and he moved and I hit him with the ball and the entire camp decided to fight me. I had to reload my game
Oh shit!
because I accidentally hit him with the ball and everyone's like, nope, not allowed. I was
How
like,
dare you, sir?
There is no animal cruelty at this camp.
Yeah.
That is the appropriate reaction.
yeah, I was like,
Oh
okay, I
my.
guess I'm going to reload this game. Like, oops.
They all went John Wick on your ass. They're
Pretty
like,
much.
Not today.
Yeah.
I hope that's what the coding is in that. This is
Yeah.
the John Wick coding.
John Wick code.
John Wick, yeah.
you hurt the dog, you get fucked up.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Rules.
Yeah, like right now for me, like I'm still pretty early on, but like Karlach and Shadowheart are definitely my 2 most useful characters in my party. They work alongside a druid class really, really well. And we can all take damage and we can all do like AoE shit, and there's not a whole lot of like magic stuff that kind of fucks with us, and so it really balances things out, whether I'm fighting against range or like brute classes. I can kind of cover all the bases, which is really nice. And then I've got a Asterion in my class. I know a lot of people got like Vampire Daddy with him when the game came out. I honestly don't fucking get it because I find him.
He's so over the top.
Yeah, I don't have much love for him, but you know the rogue class is useful, at least in the early game. So
100%. The lockpicking and like his stealth stuff is actually super handy. He was he was my 3rd member of my group in my first playthrough, and Asterion was wicked.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm debating putting Wyll in instead of him for kind of the latter half, but he's been too useful not to use. So
our second playthrough, we're trying to optimize when people are in our party when we know the major story moments are happening, so you can get like because there's so many interactions where they're like, oh, this person's not with you, like what's going on, and you're like, shit, we're missing an important part of the fucking story.
Yeah, well, and there are all kinds of interactions through multiple people where like if that person's in your party, that there's just going to be that little piece of conversation that just pushes that conversation over the top, or like again can change an option available,
Right.
like for whatever. Like, what a wicked facet, because I didn't really change my party my first playthrough at all. And this time around, I'm not really changing it much either, because I'm trying to include everybody that I didn't use, like the first time, to just see like what I have. But even like Hal-sinned and Jaheira aren't like major players. They can be in your party, but like they have dialogue that's specific to them and missions that are specific to them, and like they need to be there, and like, that's incredible. It's such incredible programming. That's so good.
Now-
So do we want to wrap here? Do we want to?
I just want to say one thing to the people that shit on Baldur's Gate for being turn-based.
Yeah.
There's people out there that refuse to play because it's turn-based and like, you know, it's not just like, honestly, give the game a shot. If you even love games like Mass Effect for the, you know, the relationship components and like the team building aspect in that game, you'll appreciate what this game does, because it's very similar in that sense. And they do such a good job of it to, you know, to point. Like, honestly, if the turn-based combat is kind of a turn-off for you, play with friends. You know, get a group
it's
session.
hilarious.
It is funny.
It makes it so funny. And then, you know, you don't have the intimidating factor of having to balance 4 separate character classes and figure out how each one of them plays, you know, in conjunction. So like, you know, get a friend, get a group, you know, play the game. Because honestly, if you're not playing it just because of the turn base, you're
missing out.
You're fucking missing out, honestly. Like, yeah, it is so good. So anyway, felt like I had to say that.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely fair, and I think that sort of leads us into our final thoughts. Trevor, do you have anything else you want to add? Did we miss anything? Is there?
No, just like, honestly, if you're playing the game, don't speed run. Do as many of the things as you can. Sort of like I said,
lost.
I said with Divinity, this game respects people who pay attention. And if you don't necessarily have to read every book, pick them up, because sometimes that triggers quests.
Yep.
But like, go through your quest log, try and do all of the things. And if something's too hard, just go back later. But like, do as much as you can and pay attention, because there's so many little things that you will be rewarded with. And like, some of it's great, some of it's really fucked up, and some of it's hilarious. And yeah, I can't say enough about this game. 10 out of 10. Like Daryl said, like, I'm already playing it a second time. I'm playing it with you guys essentially a third time, and I will play this game again.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I cannot wait for the next game that they make.
I think that was a great quote line there, Trev, too, is that, you know, this game respects people who pay attention.
Oh, like,
rewards them for it.
No
right?
question.
The little shit that people say, and they're like, oh, this thing. And you're like, oh, shit, there's a secret passage right there. Like, hey.
Yeah.
Like,
should we go check that out?
Yeah. Don't be like Kyle. Don't skip the dialogue. Just watch the cutscene.
Hey, I do better with it than this.
This one you kind of have to, because you have to choose stuff that's actually got weight to it.
Yeah,
it's not like a JRPG
something.
where I'm like reading.
Oh.
Hey. Okay.
No, I agree with Kyle. JRPGs can get a little long-winded. Like,
okay.
Well,
depends
and
on the game.
it helps that it's fully voice acted too. So,
Oh
like,
yeah.
yes, this is a big
Far
step
more
up from
engaging.
Divinity. Yeah.
far more engaging for sure.
Daryl, final thoughts?
I didn't know what to expect out of this, because I barely touched Divinity Original Sin. I ran into some bugs in my playthrough and stuff when I had started that game on Xbox, and so I just kind of gave up on it. And now I'm sad that I did that early, because I think I would have had a greater appreciation. But like, this is such a complete game, such a good game, and as we've been saying throughout this entire podcast, it has that level of replayability that so many other games don't. And that's what makes this so enticing. Jordan and I have already been talking about our next playthrough together. We're going Dark Urge, and I can't wait.
Oh.
I'm itching to just like get this one done so that he and I can start that one. And like, what an amazing amazing, amazing game that these guys put together. And if you haven't checked it out, like you won't regret picking this game up.
It's worth the money.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah.
What a time sink though, man. There's been a couple times I've been on like 6+ hours. I'm like, oh dang,
I should go outside. Yeah, I should go outside.
Yeah,
I should go to bed.
Yeah.
It's such a good game. I've bought it twice. I have it on PlayStation, and I have it for my Ally. And like honestly, if you own a Steam Deck or an Ally or any like the PC handhelds, this game runs beautifully on a PC handheld. And like, what a fun game to take on the road with you. Like road trips and being stuck in an airport or a hotel. Honestly, this game is perfect on that type of system.
Just make sure you hide those sex scenes.
Fuck it.
So good though.
Some of
them are so ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's the other part of this game. I was like, what in the Grand Theft Auto is going on here? Like this is so hilarious.
Yeah. That shit crazy.
Well, I think that just about wraps it up. I think we did a good, solid deep dive into Baldur's Gate with our very specific personal experiences that we hope a lot of people get, because like everybody's game is going to be different, but still a lot of like commonalities, you know. Before we go though, I do want to start off the season 6 with, you know, some like great news. Those of you who have followed along, we attended GameCon 2023 last year in Calgary as a bit of a stealth mission. We applied for some media passes. We went guerrilla tactics and just made our way there, and we had a fucking ball. Chris and Mark were very, very
Welcoming.
With
arms wide open.
With arms wide open.
Yeah. So they, you know, were very nice enough not to like kick us out, you know, and like, you know, bouncer like Jazz from the Fresh Prince mansion. And they actually, yeah, they actually invited us back this year, and instead of us like crashing the con, we've got our own freaking booth. We've got a place where from June 14th to 16th, you can come say hi. You can come down to us if you come to GameCon. We're actually, I think at some point we're going to be giving away some tickets.
Yeah.
All access weekend pass tickets. But you can also come down and see us in our own freaking booth.
You might even get on YouTube.
Ooh. Safe to say we're pretty fucking excited about it. We some of us made the pilgrimage up to Edmonton for the announcement press conference. Some of us made the news somehow.
Yeah.
Good Enough Gaming Podcast acknowledged on CTV News.
Yeah, that's right.
Some people have a face for TV.
We sent the poster boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those OnlyFans subscriptions went through the roof after that.
It's only pans. I only panhandle. That's it.
It's only pants.
So, if you are in Alberta, Calgary, Edmonton,
or for some reason want to travel to Edmonton,
or want to go to Edmonton for GameCon,
yeah, do it.
Last year was so fucking fun, and this year is going to be so much bigger.
It's going to be epic,
like so much bigger.
Yeah,
I can't express how excited I am. So, look for us there. We'll be doing more stuff with Chris and Mark closer to GameCon. We'll do another studio episode, which was dope last time. So look for us there. Gents, anything to add before we get out of here?
Like, subscribe, share with your friends, tell your mom, your grandma.
Yeah. Grandmas really like us, so
that's true.
They don't know what the fuck we're talking about.
They're on the way with the grandmas.
They like us, though. Yeah.
Okay, enough.
All right, guys. I think that's good enough.
Good enough.
Yeah, good enough.
Enough.
Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube for more content. We also invite you to write an email or join us on Discord to talk about anything from our episodes or something else you would like to discuss in the future. Please subscribe to the Good Enough Gaming podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever else you listen to your podcasts. And remember, we might not be great, but we are good enough.